aboard, Mr. Jimmy. How are you, my friend?
Good day. I'm well. How about yourself?
You know what? What can I say? Sun is shining. Well, it's not my side of the town. It's your side of the town that's shining. And you're going in for what? 450,000 degrees today?
Oh no, I think it's been cool weather here. We had a lot of rain all day yesterday. Was probably in the well, I'm gonna guess and say in the 40s Celsius, so right around
Okay.
70 degrees Fahrenheit.
That is a warm day.
Yeah, it's warm compared to what you folks have been having.
40, 80, 90, 100. 40 is about 120.
Oh well, okay. Well, it was
That's a warm
70
day.
degrees Fahrenheit here.
Yeah,
So
70, 70 less 30 is 40. So it's about 20 degrees. That's nice. That's comfortable.
it was very comfortable. Rainy. Good morning, John. John
Well,
Gaylor
we've
is
got,
here.
oh yeah, we've got the Gaylors and we've got young Mr. Nick in the chat. Bidet Nick, how are you, buddy? Nice to have you on board.
Nick,
As well as John, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Oh, I know, you're lurking. Always lurking. Hang on. I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Nick said he bought a new DJI camera just for you,
Yeah,
Sean.
I believe so. I believe so. It was an amazing camera that he's bought, and so he's going to be heading down here to use it. I mean, look, to be honest with you, Nick, you don't have to come all the way to Australia to use the new camera. I mean, you could use it at home. I mean, Jimmy wouldn't mind if you popped into New Hampshire and had a chat.
Haven't seen him yet. He's got an invite.
There you go. There you go. Just as we all say, you know. Well, we got Sharon there. G'day, Sharon. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you on board.
Good morning, Sharon.
And Sharon's also saying g'day to the Gaylors. Now, folks, just to give you a hint, we're running off three YouTube channels and a Facebook page. So if by any chance there's something in the chat that you do not see, know it's on another chat. But I will bring it up because we see everything here on the EV Mux program that we're using. And can't say I've had any complaints about it to date.
No, no,
So,
no complaints. Sharon, I hope the weather is well with you. I know they've been having some extreme heat in South Georgia, uh, which is just north of Florida. I don't know how your geography is, especially for the U.S., but they're just
so
north of Florida, and it's been hot.
Sharon's asking a really important question here. Do you all know what day is, what it is, what today is?
Well, today is August 16th. Is today? No, we've already celebrated your birthday, right, Sharon?
And besides that, well, for us, Hump Day's almost over. So,
We had a thunderstorm yesterday. Okay.
yep. Well, that's good that you guys are getting some of the rain. Is any of it hitting Maui?
I, I don't think so.
That's a shame.
Maui's a good Maui's a good ways from here. It's Law
Ah,
Jones's birthday.
we won't tell him until he comes in. We'll keep it a secret. So when Law comes in, we'll go, "Happy birthday, 21-year-old."
That's right. 21 again.
21 again, yep. Nick is saying that his travel insurance he took out for next year covers $20,000 for the trip, cancellation protection, and he also has $1 million coverage in medical transportation coverage. Definitely needed in the outback. Yeah, you're not wrong. Short of sticking you on the back of the GAN, they may even fly in a helicopter to pick you up. But if that's the case, mate, you're really, really, really crook.
Hydrate in the
A lot
outback.
more than just hydration. Yeah. But he's not going to be on his own. He's going to be on the GAN and on the Indian Pacific. So
Oh,
we'll see.
there's
Good
there's
morning, Nick
plenty
from
there.
Sharon.
There's plenty there for him.
Of course. I tell you what, he's going to have a most awesome time. In a way, I'm kind of jealous because what he's doing is he's flying from Vancouver into Brisbane. He's then going to catch a train down to your favourite place, Australia Zoo.
That's right. We learned about that yesterday, didn't we?
That's right. And then after
They
that,
have red pandas there.
yep. G'day, Sharon from Nick. Got more than just red pandas, I'll tell you what. They've got those things you call crocs. You put them on your feet. We actually are afraid of them.
I don't wear those.
You
No
don't wear
self
crocs?
no self-respecting man would put those things on his feet. I'm sorry. That's just
Okay.
one man's opinion, but yeah, you won't see me wearing those. I won't do it.
Do you know that most surgery, if you got any surgery being done, most medical staff will wear them in the surgery.
Well, I mean, okay. I think they're easily disinfected, maybe, or easily
Mm-hmm.
antiseptic
Mm-hmm.
to keep antiseptic. That's not quite a word, but I get that. But
Antisepticized.
yes, I
G'day,
see,
Denise. How are
I see
you?
men all over the place here wearing those out in into public. I mean, they used to wear, what were those shoes they wore? Those wooden clog shoes. See, Denise would
Oh
know.
God, I remember those.
Remember those, Denise? You
I
would know,
remember
right?
those
What are those shoes that nurses would wear? Those
clogs.
wooden clogs, right?
That's what they called them, clogs.
And I've seen male medical staff wearing them too. Yeah,
Yep.
not me.
It's only because they want to make an impression, you know.
Right?
Yeah. Now Denise was saying she was talking to herself on Jimmy's page.
I didn't see you. I have
Yeah,
your
well,
page up.
I'm bringing it up here, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, we see you.
Um,
I hate
Sharon says
those
good day
things.
to Denise. Yeah, she hates those things.
Right?
Now, which is it that you hate, Denise? Is it the clogs or is it the crogs?
Do you wear Crocs, Denise?
Um, Nick is saying it's weird. The alligator's pretty much just in the USA. The gator's in the extreme southern Florida.
We do
What's
have
the
some
difference between an
crocodiles, I think,
alligator
somewhere
and a
here.
gator?
Saltwater crocs. I think there are some, but it's mostly alligators in this country. She,
Dansko clogs is what they were called. Horrible for your feet.
yeah.
Nick, wooden clog shoes are a big thing in the Netherlands. Yeah, but they know how to make them properly.
Yeah,
The
that's where they
difference.
make them.
Yeah.
No Crocs here.
No Crocs here, just Brooks or Hoka athletic shoes.
There you go.
Yeah, no, that here they use Crocs quite often. Only because I think you can chuck them into the microwave and disinfect them, or they'll melt. Rather
I'm,
stick them in the dishwasher.
I could see the use in a hospital setting, but
Yeah.
yeah, no. They I see men here in this country wearing those, and they bedazzle them with little, I don't want to call them jewels. I don't know what they are. You know how the Crocs have holes in them, right? And
Yeah.
they fill those in with these little things. I don't know. I just don't get it.
Okay, so here's something that we get down under, and you guys have taken it from us as well. Is the UGG boots?
Oh, Uggs. Those were a big deal here for a while.
Yep.
I don't think we see much of them anymore. Um, Tom Brady used to wear them. He swore by them. You know Tom Brady?
Some
Probably
player
not.
of some sort.
Yeah, he was an American football quarterback.
Sharon is saying we have alligators here in South. Yay, the River Nick. Okay. Denise is saying charms,
Yes,
Jimmy.
charms.
Yep.
That's what
Also,
they
she
call
says her
them.
daughter loves her Uggs. Hey, you know, Uggs are an Australian invention. You Americans tried to steal it off us.
Tried and true. They're probably very comfortable. I've never worn them. I don't think
Yeah.
I would wear them.
Yeah. In winter, they're great.
Do you
You
wear
walk
Uggs?
around. I'm not allowed to. Ilana goes, no self-respecting male in my house will wear a pair of Uggs.
See,
Okay. I
Alana
just
and
want a
I are
nice
on the
pair of warm slippers, you know.
we're on the same page, your wife and I.
Yeah. Nick is saying, yeah, I went with the DJI camera because I used to use GoPros, but they overheat a lot and their battery life is not as good as the new DJI action cameras.
What's the battery life on the DJI? Do you get over 30 minutes on it, Nick?
Sharon is going, she meant South Georgia. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for the clarification. Um, Denise is saying they feel amazing but too hot for her. Well, we only wear them in winter, you know. That's the best time to wear them. Stream Elements is saying, welcome to Humpday with the Down Under Cruises. Please support our channel so that we can support Helping Hands for Cruising. And I'd say the same thing about the Astute Tourist. Please support the channel because we know that the Astute Tourist is going to be astuting not this weekend but next weekend
Next
on the
Saturday,
Cruiseathon.
10 a.m. EST. We'll be
Correct.
up live in person.
Nick is saying that he saw a couple of YouTube reviews between both the new GoPro and the new DJI, Jimmy. The DJI usually had about 45 minutes left of battery life compared to the GoPro when it died in the reviews.
Oh, awesome.
Sharon, you're very welcome, Sean. My pleasure. Thank you for clarifying lots of things for me, Sharon. Really, I get thoroughly confused, and without anybody else out there keeping me on the straight and narrow, I get even more confused. I mean, Ilana beats me around the head a couple of times to keep me straight, so, you know,
Easily
what it is.
confused.
Yeah, so confused.
Yeah.
So what's happening down your neck of the woods?
There's not a whole lot going on. We had a busy week last week. We had President Trump came into town, and I had to work the detail for that. So we were really busy, and there was not a lot of fallout with that over the
That's good.
weekend. Over the weekend, we just spent. Colleen worked. I spent some time just taking care of errands around the house, which I haven't been able to catch up on. And that's about it. I mean, we're into Wednesday now. Yesterday was a rainy day. I was out in the field doing my inspection job and got wet, but that's par for the course. Not a very busy day in terms of that. Today, I don't know what today brings. We actually had one of our better employees gave his notice yesterday.
Oh,
He So one of the problems we're facing here in the United States, and it may be the same in Australia or around the world, firefighting is not as desirable of a profession as it used to be, especially when I started. You can make a lot more money in the private sector, and that's where this gent's going. Which
that's
good for him. I mean, we wish him all the best. But he was one of our better employees. Real
yeah.
smart and a hard worker, and young. You know, he's probably going to double his salary by going out into the private sector. So it's too bad. Um, it's too bad the way that things are, because I mean we're hurting here.
So
Um,
what does the private sector do differently to what you do?
well, he's not going into private firefighting. He's he's so a lot of firefighters here, because of their schedule, and I'm sure it's the same all around the world
Yep.
for the guys and gals that work for 24-hour shifts. They moonlight. You know, they'll do
Yep.
something else. So a lot of them are medical techs in an ER or something like that. Well, this guy, he is an excavator. He
Oh,
operates, you know, excavators and bulldozers and that kind of
so
thing. So
construction's making a bucket load more money.
huge. The trades are hurting as well here, and they're begging for skilled workers, and they're able to offer the money because in the private sector they basically can name their price. So unfortunate for us, but I know that I wish him all the best. I know he's going to do well. But we have several openings on our department now, and we're just one of many in our surrounding area that we cannot find experienced help. None.
Sorry, Jimmy, I can't come over.
I know. We would love to have you come in. We have two transport ambulances. You would fit in well.
Nick is saying, what do you think would be harder on the jet lag, Vancouver to Brisbane or Sydney to Dallas? What was harder when you came here, Sean, coming to America or going home? Well, for us, it was going home. And the reason why I say going home is hard is because we were about tuckered out after our cruise and shenanigans that we did with the family and friends. Coming home was time late. We'd rest on the plane and then, come back straight into work. So, I mean, to be honest, Vancouver to Brisbane, you're going to be really excited and everything's going to be working well. And I think you'll be okay. I think it's going home that's going to be your big problem. Denise is saying, it's in the 60s right now. I may need a jacket to mow the grass this morning.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I love that. That's great.
Are you, Denise? You folks have been having somewhat of a heat wave, I thought, right? So 60 is cool. Well,
So,
as compared to 90.
yep. So Sharon is saying it's 73 and cloudy here in South Georgia. Okay, so let me tell you something. In Melbourne right now, okay, this morning I started out with 2 degrees C.
Oof. So
Uh,
that's what, 34
two,
degrees?
it's
36?
34 degrees.
34.
Um, it's currently sitting on 8, feels like 8 with 66% humidity. So
Yikes.
38. 816, no, 46.
Still cold.
Yeah, I know. Normally I have a deep bass voice, as you know, but because it's so cold, my voice has gone up an octave.
Well, those little buggers down below, they've gone up into hiding.
Yep, that's it. Nick is going, brass monkey stuff. Nick is going, I'm not going to have time to go to the northeastern USA next year. The closest he'll be to Jimmy is on the beginning of his trip. He has a 6-hour layover with Amtrak in Buffalo, New York, on his way to Toronto.
And that's about an 8-hour drive from where I live. Buffalo.
Um, who's closer to the Canadian border, you or him?
I'm not exactly sure where he lives. I'm about a 3-hour drive to Canada, 2.5 hours, the way I drive.
Um, Denise is saying, yep, it will be back to 100 in 2 days.
Yeah,
They have a
I'm
break today with a high of 88.
currently here in New England. It's 62 degrees and mostly cloudy.
Buenos dias. G'day, Daniel, okay, g'day, Daniel.
Daniel
What?
Jose.
Jose, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here, sir. Nick says he's about 5 hours drive to the Canadian border.
So he's a little further south than me.
Yeah. Well, that's all right.
I can be in
But
Montreal in 4 hours.
he's gonna Amtrak it all the way up to Canada by the looks.
Right. No, it's not. I just hop on the interstate. I'll be there in 2.5 hours. I'll cross over the border, and then it's another hour and a half to Montreal once I cross the border. So I'm very
Uh,
close to Quebec.
does your position give you specialties when crossing the border?
No, it's not. So here's the crazy thing about the Canadian border. It's really easy for us to get into Canada. The Canadians, they're, not that the American border, they're not friendly,
Mm.
but the Canadians are very welcoming. They're, hey, come on in. They do a quick check on your license, your driver's license, and check your papers. And it's pretty easy to get in. It's coming back that they scrutinize a lot more. Um,
So the Americans sound to me a bit like an asthma attack.
yeah,
You can get the air in, but you can't get it out.
pretty much.
Daniel is saying he's about 12 hours from British Columbia. And Sharon is saying, Denise, she don't want no more 100 degrees. Day before yesterday, Monday, it was 106 to 114. That's hot. Yeah, that is way hot. Nick is going, his state does border Canada. It's just we're a lot bigger than New Hampshire. We are close to Canadian cities of Winnipeg and the Thunder Bay. What a name for a city. Thunder Bay.
Thunder Bay.
Now, either it's because it rains a lot or because something else is going off, you know.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I think I'll just leave it as is.
I'm actually intrigued now. I'm going to look it up because that's what I do.
Yep.
So how's things going with you?
Well, we've had a fairly hectic week. On Sunday, Ilana and I drove up to our annual training session in Yarram, which is just in Victoria, right next to one of the power stations that's been decommissioned. And I normally go there. It's a wood mill that I go there and do training with. And the guys had an incident in the last month where one of the workers, they were doing a check, some sort of check on a power board, and one of the people was actually electrocuted.
Oh my God.
As a result, the training that I had to do for them this time was not only training from saving somebody off a low voltage rescue circumstance, but it was also an electrical service industry type training. So we go into burns as well. So that was a fun session.
Yeah,
Freaking
not only
cool,
training but practical.
Yep.
Wow.
G'day, Jonesy. Welcome aboard, buddy. What's
Jonesy?
up, gentlemen?
Good evening, Jonesy. He comes in the mornings, and I say good evening because he's like, it's not morning here. It's 8:22 in the PM in
Yep.
Tasmania.
Yeah, well, he's if I look very carefully, I might actually see him. No, it's
You stand on your toes and just kind of look.
Yeah,
Look
it's
south.
about that far on the map from where I am, but yeah, no, he's a good distance away. Daniel is saying it's been around 98, but it was 89 the other day and had thunderstorms and rain during that temperature drop, I'm assuming. Nick is saying Thunder Bay is on Lake Superior.
Thunder Bay is a city in and the seat of Thunder Bay District, Ontario, Canada. It's the most populous municipality in northwestern Ontario and the second most populous municipality in northern Ontario. Its population is 108,000 plus folks.
Wow.
There you go. Thunder Bay. Sounds like a
G'day,
title for a
Paul.
song.
Yeah. G'day, Paul. He's driving and listening.
Hello, Paul. Good morning, my friend.
Yep. Nick's saying g'day to Paul. Sharon is saying that city has a little catch to it, Thunder Bay. Yeah. I wonder what the catch is. I hope it's not what I'm thinking. Paul saying g'day to Nick. Now, Paul, let me say this, mate. You're busy driving. You would be better off watching the stream and doing some sort of comment one way or another, because driving and texting is extremely dangaroos.
Two hands on the wheel, sir.
Good morning, Paul, from Sharon. Daniel is saying g'day to Nick. And Paul saying g'day to Sharon.
Daniel, what
Paul,
is...
we worry about you.
Sorry.
Young Meeks the worries about you.
Daniel, what's your location? Where are you located? Sounds like he's close to the West Coast.
How's the weather down under? Down under, it's frickin' freezing. I mean, I'm just putting it in there lovingly. If you were in, say, the Northern Territory, as in Darwin or up Queensland Way, you would have had a 33-degree day.
Ooh, that's warm.
Yep. Um, but no, down under, right down in Melbourne, it's frickin' freezing.
Now,
Um,
is that area, the northern part, does that stay temperate all year?
it's tropical.
Tropical. That's where
Daniel is
if I
saying
was
he's
there,
in Northern
Northern
California.
California. Okay, so I said West Coast. So,
Yep.
yeah,
And
if I
Jones.
was living in Australia, that's where I would live.
Okay. I'll say this lovingly. You'd want to be a little bit lower down. I mean, because in summer it's wet and it's ugly,
Is it?
and because being tropical it can be quite humid. So if you really wanted to stay temperate, you would probably be doing better in Sydney,
Okay.
or maybe just a little bit north of Sydney.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be too hot or too humid. I
No,
just
Newcastle is
I
fine.
just want warm weather 12 months a year.
You don't want much, do you?
No.
Well, let me put it this way. In well, yeah, well, in say Newcastle and maybe a little bit further up, you do put a jumper on, something to keep you warm, a sweater. You will wear that when the temperature freezes down to about 26. Okay, moving on. Sharon is saying good day to Jonesy. Jonesy saying good day to Sharon. Daniel is saying he prefers the colder weather. Spending 17 years in Germany makes him like colder weather. Mate, I'll be honest with you. It can be cooler, but please don't give me that white stuff.
Don't even say it.
Yeah, I'm not.
I didn't see anybody in my chat.
The Gailers had to switch. She was in Jimmy's chat and it was lonely. Or he, sorry.
That's John.
Sorry, John.
He may go
I
by she. I don't know.
apologize.
I mean, nowadays you just never know.
I apologise from the bottom of my heart. Nick says he can't believe how easy Australians made it to get a tourist visa. All he had to do was to take a picture of himself and rub his phone across his passport so it could read the microchip inside of it. I'm glad you clarified that, Nick. You had me worried
Good
what
luck
you were
getting
rubbing your
back.
phone against. Nick was also saying it was approved in about 20 minutes. Well, we Aussies don't mess around, mate. Daniel, he says you don't like that white stuff, do you? No, no. I can't handle that white stuff. It's too much like, yeah, don't give that to me. Denise says, yep, same here, John.
It's not working.
She
my
was
chat.
alone and frightened. Jonesy, I was in your chat, Jimmy, and it wasn't working.
Hmm.
Just do a refresh on it. Sharon's saying g'day to the Gaylors.
Oh, there's 8. I have 8 likes.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I don't have anywhere near that much.
I'm typing in hello. Anyone? Bueller?
Denise is saying alone in Jimmy's chat all by herself.
I'm sorry.
Denise, we love you.
That's
Doesn't matter
okay.
where
You're
you
not
are.
alone. You're amongst friends over here, down
Yeah,
under.
you are. Nick is going, he knows that he will be going down under in the winter time there, but can't go in the summertime because the GAN doesn't run. No, and you know what the reason is, Nick? It gets so hot in the middle that the tracks actually bend.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Daniel is saying he spent in a city where the white stuff was on the ground for around 300 days a year. No, thanks.
I'm good, Daniel. You can have that. I know you
Yep.
like the cold. I
Yep.
do not.
Yep. No.
It's funny because I used to curse my dad for, and it's not his fault either, but for our ancestors settling in the Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice this time of year, but the winters are just incredibly cold. And then that white stuff, of course.
Sharon is saying she was in Jimmy's channel at the beginning, but came over to Sean's, and here she is. Well, thank you for that, Sharon. Really appreciate that. Denise is saying, if our Wi-Fi cooperates, Jimmy, I may jump on a live for the Helping Hands for Cruising Weekend.
So will you be hosting your own live, or will you be jumping into somebody else's? Because at 10
That would
a.m.
be,
on Saturday, you can climb onto mine. I'll climb into all of them.
yep.
They're gonna.
That'd be amazing if you did, Denise. We'd really appreciate it. We'd really appreciate it. I don't know if you guys managed to see any of my live stream yesterday on the replay, but there's some exciting news happening right now, and it's well, things are moving along. Nick is saying he also got a new iPad because it has plenty of space on it to download movies for the long airplane rides, as well as plenty of space to download the 4K videos from the outback of his new camera. So let me put this to you, Nick. You're going to be spending more time using your iPad getting video or doing things with it. You won't have enough opportunity on the flight down under, because I'm telling you, you'll go the first hour, you'll watch all the stuff you want to watch on the flight entertainment, and then you'll just crash. Sharon is saying you're very welcome. Thank you, Sharon. Really appreciate that. Excuse
Bless
me.
you. Bless you.
Denise is saying she'd have to get on someone else's, and that's cool. There's plenty to get on.
I'll send you the link.
Daniel is saying, but with the climate change, he thinks times have changed. He hears the city he lived in for most part doesn't get much, or he used the word. He used the word. I'm just going to agree.
If I had a black Sharpie, I would cross that word out. I can't do it.
Well, the problem is having a black Sharpie on the screen, I'd get lots of black marks all over it, and I'd be moving up the screen, right? Michael Ann, g'day Michael Ann. She's saying lying there listening, was just up to bathroom. Did watch the replay yesterday. Exciting news. Absolutely. And
I'll have to watch the replay.
Yeah, and Michael Ann, you're a part of that, so well done. The Gale is saying their area northeast may have that cold, and oh god, there it is again. But we also have fewer animals and insects that will kill you. No, yours are much more visible than ours. Daniel is saying he's really thinking about doing a cruise with you all down under. Daniel, come down on the 2nd of January 2025.
I was just going to say, I know of a cruise he could easily get onto.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Daniel. If you come on in for the 30th of December 2024, you will enjoy a Australian New Year's Eve party just in Sydney for December 31st. You'll spend the whole of January the 1st recovering, because on the 2nd of January we'll be on the Celebrity Edge out of Sydney, headed to New Caledonia, Namibia, which is New Caledonia, Vanuatu, and Fiji.
Sounds wonderful.
It is, can't wait. Nick is saying he should be meeting Larry in Vancouver the day of his departure for Australia. As long as things work out with him, definitely will be interesting to meet him in person. Mate, you won't know yourself when you've met Larry. I mean that lovingly. You won't know yourself. Sharon is asking the Gaylors where do they live, and Denise is saying New York, I think, Sharon.
That's correct.
And Daniel is saying that sounds really good, mate. It is awesome. And the Gaylors are saying New York, Sharon, but not the city. Okay.
Not New York, New York.
New York, the state, right?
Well, the city is in the state, but New York City is New York, New York.
Aha. Okay.
That's what they call it.
You guys have got the same problem that some of us have in the middle of Australia.
What's that?
You've got the stutter on the word New York, right? We've got a stutter on this place called Wagga. Wagga Wagga.
Wagga Wagga.
Yep, that's it. That's what it's called. It's on the Wagga Wagga's on the New South Wales or the Victorian side.
It would
If
have
you're
been
driving up to
easier.
Sydney,
Would have been easier if they kept the name New Amsterdam, because that's what New York City used to be called.
New Amsterdam.
New
Okay,
Amsterdam.
so those Dutchmen got in there too.
Yes.
Not only did they, the Dutch East India Company. That's who
That
they were.
that is correct.
Because they wanted to actually increase their income, so they took over South Africa, and
They tried to take over the world, I think.
yep, they tried to take over Tasmania. Oh, sorry, Van Diemen's Land as well. That's what Tasmania was called,
Van Diemen's Land?
Van Diemen's Land, or in Dutch, Van Diemen's Land.
Van Diemen's Land.
Yeah. Sharon is saying, Gaylors, I have a question for you. Yesterday we found a red wasp nest just inside the front door and the screen door. How do I get rid of these red wasps? Smoke them out.
Send Jody out there. Jody!
Daniel is saying he's been on a cruise in the Rhine River, but never on a big cruise ship. That's his dream, though. Well, Daniel, let me say, I've never been on a river cruise, so that's my dream. But you and I can chat about that when you come down under for the Ducks group cruise.
Yeah, they do the Viking cruises on the Rhine, I believe.
That's
I think
correct.
it's Viking.
See, I was right. Smoke them out with some wasp spray. The Gaylor said they will call someone for that. I'm allergic to wasps.
I have a short, speaking of that. I just put a
Yeah?
short up on my channel, little selfless plug, of
Yep.
the bee man. You can go over there and see what he does for the bees, Sharon.
What does
And
he do
it's-
for the bees?
So so we had a nest, a ground nest of yellow jackets, and we also had so our building is made of blocks, cement blocks, cinder blocks, and they got into one of the joints in between, and they built a nest in the cinder blocks in the wall. So this bee man put on his little suit with his hood on and all that, and they have this long stick that has like an aerosol at the end, and they put this powder, this white powder goes into it. And what it is it's a poison where the bees will walk through it and then carry it into the nest,
Oh, wow.
and it'll kill all of them in the nest. So you can see that in action.
Oh, wow.
Shall we-
Um, John says he would call someone for that. He's allergic to wasps. Sharon says Jimmy Jody is grounded.
He's grounded
Why
Good.
is Jody grounded?
because Jody didn't fix the generator
Oh.
or the stairs, right? Wasn't he supposed to fix the stairs too? Jody.
Denise is saying she saw your B-Man short.
Thank you.
And Daniel is saying he heard there's a lot of nasty little critters down under. Hope never come across them. Daniel, where did you get that lie from? Sharon has said we have yellow jackets here too, Jimmy.
Yes.
What's a yellow jacket?
So yellow jacket's it's a bee. It's a hornet. They have their body. It's almost like zebra stripes, but they're yellow and black.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yes, well we do have some critters, but I don't think ours are nearly as bad as yours. Look, I'll be honest with you. I've been in this country for over 43 years and I haven't seen one snake.
Is that right?
Yeah. I've seen several, not one.
Haha.
Daniel, maybe it's just a rumor. Look, I'll be honest with you, Daniel. You actually have to go and look for these critters in order to get injured by them. And you've got to be silly enough to want to disturb them. Just, if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. Truth be known.
40 minutes past the hour of 8 p.m. or 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Um,
Just a time check.
yeah, thanks for that. I'm waiting. I was waiting for JNN to pop in and give me a time check. Nick is saying he was carrying wasp poison with him every day. Those little buggers build their nests in the wrong spots all the time. It's part of his job having to kill their nests when it's close to the mailbox.
As a mail carrier, do you carry dog treats with you too, Nick?
Um, Denise is saying they have lots of creepy crawly things here too. I'm glad you clarified that, Denise, because everybody picks on me because Australia's got the deadliest this, that, and the next thing. Look, I'll be honest with you. Australia's got the deadliest politicians.
I'm not going down that road.
No, I'm not either. I just wanted to change the subject. They get a lot of rattlesnakes around where they are.
Yeah, Northern California. Sure they do.
Yeah. We don't have that problem. Denise, no, this day in history, or are you doing a cocktail hour tonight?
So, I mean, if Sean wants me to do, I can do this day in history. And yes, we'll be doing cocktail hour this evening. So
Absolutely.
I don't have the intro, of course, because so for Sean and I to do anything with music, it may cause a copyright strike for either one of us. So because we use different licensing places for our music, but I can do it like this. This week in history.
Oh my god, I'm scared now.
All right, let's do it. So today is August 16th, the year of our Lord 2023, and let's see what happened on this day throughout history. In 963, Nicephorus II was crowned emperor of the Byzantine Empire by the Patriarch Polygatus. And again, I don't claim to pronounce any of these things correctly. In 1780, an American force was beaten by British troops under Charles Cornwallis I and a second Earl Cornwallis in the Battle of Camden during the American Revolution. In 1812, during the War of 1812, American Brigadier General William Hull, who was with his troops at Fort Detroit, surrendered to the British without a fight, leading to a celebrated court-martial in which he was sentenced to death. He was saved by a presidential pardon. In 1819, a meeting of radicals held on St. Peter's Field in Manchester, England, was dispersed with violence, an event that became known as the Peterloo Massacre. You familiar with the Peterloo Massacre? Nor am I.
Nope.
In 1888, British archaeological scholar and military strategist T.E. Lawrence, who was best known for his legendary activities in the Middle East during World War I, which earned him the nickname Lawrence of Arabia, was born in Wales.
Mm-hmm.
In 1913, right? You've heard of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
In 1913, Menachem Begin, Prime Minister of Israel, who was the co-recipient with Egyptian President Anwar Sadat in 1978 Nobel Prize for Peace, was born in Russia.
Yep.
I remember that. I was a young lad. I was
You were
probably
there at the time.
13. You were there then?
No, I wasn't there. But yeah, I was around.
I hope so.
I was
Hope
around.
you were around. I was too. I remember that. It was all over the news.
Yep.
In 1948, American baseball legend Babe Ruth died at the age of 53. Yep, Babe
And he's
Ruth.
still spoken about today.
He is actually. And where I live here in New England, Boston Red Sox are, the team from our area, and there's a thing called the Curse of the Bambino, because in 1912 and 1914, I think 1916, the Red Sox won several World Series right in a row. And then they traded Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees. And then we didn't win another World Series until the 2000s.
Big mistake.
Curse of the Bambino.
Very quickly, just to come in there, Nick is saying no, it's against their contract with UPS to give dog treats. Some mail carriers do it anyways, but their district manager put the hammer down on us and told us not to do it anymore.
Ah, poor pups.
Yep. Sharon is saying they've got rattlers there as well. Sorry, Denise says that. Sharon is saying Jody won't fix the doorstep, the porch, the generator. Jody won't even cut the grass. He hired a guy to cut the grass. Pays this guy $150, but the guy doesn't do that good of a grass cutting job. OMG.
Jody.
Yeah, there we go. Denise is having a giggle at that one. Sharon goes, this guy leaves more grass than he cuts. Daniel is saying rattlesnake tastes pretty good too. My great-grandfather turned me on to rattlesnake meat. How do you get rid of the venom? Like your history, Jimmy, from Daniel. And Sharon is saying, Daniel, you have to cook rattlesnake meat a certain way, don't you? And Daniel is saying it's better if you if you cook it on a barbecue, I think. Yep, there we go. Sharon is saying, oh, okay, I was told rattlesnake meat had to be cooked a certain way. Continue, please, Jimmy.
In 1954, the first issue of Sports Illustrated was released in the weekly publication, later changed to monthly, became the leading sports magazine in the United States. Do you have Sports Illustrated there, down under?
Yeah, probably.
Also in 1954, Canadian filmmaker James Cameron, we know him, who is known for his expensive vision and innovative special effects movies, notably Titanic and Avatar, was born. He also did The Terminator, didn't he?
I don't know.
In 1960, the island of Cyprus, where's Dawn?
I don't know. She's not
The
in.
island of Cyprus became an independent republic in 1960.
It became an independent republic. Interesting.
Independent republic, and now it's not.
Yeah.
In 1977, American singer Elvis Presley, known as the King of Rock and Roll, died of a heart attack brought on largely by drug abuse. And he died on the throne, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
He was in the bathroom.
Oh, boy.
Sad.
Real sad.
In 2003, Ugandan military officer Idi Amin, who assumed the country's presidency from 71 to 79, following a coup and became known as the Butcher of Uganda for his brutality, died in Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
Yeah.
He ended up with 300 wives.
He was around when you lived there, right?
Yep.
Crazy man.
Dr. Field Marshal Idi Amin, sorry.
Yeah. You have my permission.
Thanks.
In 2016, Brazilian businessman and sports official João Havelange, and please don't beat me up because I'm sure I said it incorrectly, who served as president from 74 to 98 in FIFA, the governing body of football, soccer, and transformed it into one of the world's largest and most powerful sports organizations, but was later implicated in a massive corruption scandal, died at age 100.
Oh, wow.
In 2018, American singer Aretha Franklin, who defined the golden age of soul music of the 1960s and was known as the Queen of Soul, died at the age of 76.
Do you know who she was?
I do, very, very much so. You better think about what you're going to do to me.
Yep.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Correct.
1920, notable birthdays. In 1920, Charles Bukowski, an American writer, was born. In 1923, Shimon Peres, Prime Minister and President.
Shimon Peres.
Shimon, thank you. He was born in Israel. In 1954, we mentioned James Cameron. On this date, in 1958, Madonna, American singer and actress, was born. In 1962, Steve Carell, American comedian and actor, was born. Let's see. A featured event. Leonel Fernandez Reina inaugurated as president of the Dominican Republic, the youngest person ever elected. He was sworn in on this day in 1996 and soon instituted measures to end corruption and to improve the country's economy. Maybe they should have brought some of that over to Haiti.
Correct.
So this has been This Week in History.
And that was awesome. Just going to Nick a second. He's going the one night in Australia that's going to be a struggle when he flies from Darwin to Sydney. As the flight leaves at 1:30 a.m. and gets in the city at about 6 a.m. Yeah, it's a good trip. Nick says he has to do that to get from the GAN to the Indian Pacific the next day. That he's catching out of Sydney, heading for Perth. Daniel is saying, no, not really. The poison is in its fangs and not in the body, of course. You don't eat the head, naturally. Sharon is saying, Wild Nick, that's a ride, huh? Yeah, and it's a huge ride. Oh, there we go. Jonesy's other channel, Radio Jonesy, Urban Home. The island of Tasmania should be a republic. Oh, go ahead, Jonesy. Make it a republic.
The United States is a republic.
Yeah, but not Alaska or Hawaii. Daniel is saying in November 9th, 1992, the Berlin Wall fell.
That's right, November 9th.
Do you know this person, Nancy?
I think so. Yes, I think she's my mom. Hi,
yep,
Mom.
and she's saying, "G'day, Mom," and she's saying, 82 there already.
Yeah, Central Florida is where she's at. It's hot.
Oh, you're kidding me. You know this is an important game.
This is football, I'm guessing.
This is soccer.
Soccer, okay.
Women's soccer for the World Cup. England lead by 1 goal to Australia 0 at half time. Australia has to win the game in order to get into the final for the World Cup.
Well,
good morning, Nancy from Sharon. Daniel is saying in November the 9th, 1989. No, not 89. 90.
What did he say first?
1989. The wall fell.
89.
You said that in 92.
Wasn't Reagan president when the wall fell?
That he was.
Yeah. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
And he did.
He did.
Nick's having a giggle at Jonesy.
Tonight we're going to be featuring a new, sort of a new thing. I started it a couple days ago, but we've been doing a little Guess the Animal, and we're gonna call it Animals Are Awesome. So we'll be featuring that tonight.
When you do, talk about the Sydney Funnel Web. John is saying back had to take the trash out. John, that's no way to talk about your kids.
You beat me to it.
All right, so Jimmy, we got just over 6 minutes to go.
My goodness, the time flies when we're having fun, doesn't it?
Yep.
Wow.
We've got Denise is saying her favorite game, and then she also says #guess the animal.
That's right. Denise, she's right now she's the reigning champion.
Oh,
We've done 2 of them, and she's guessed them right off the bat. So the red panda, I think you were present yesterday when we did.
Yeah, I called it a raccoon.
And the first time we did it was the narwhal.
Oh, okay.
The unicorn of the sea.
Yep. Daniel is saying it was in 89. He was there at the wall when it fell. He has a piece of it somewhere.
Oh, no kidding. That's cool.
Sharon is saying, Gaylors, I'm wondering where Lord Jones is this morning. And
where is Law? It's his birthday today.
Sleeping in. Let him sleep in. Yeah. It's his birthday.
Right on.
Nick is going, for now it's just working all the time. But it will be worth it come next year with the 10 days in Canada, then the 25 days down under. Have a good one, everybody. Well, mate, you have a safe day and make lots of bucks.
Peace, Nick.
Um, Denise is
Narwhal.
saying narwhal, so
Yep, narwhal.
she was agreeing with you.
She's the reigning
Um,
champion.
Yep. John is saying to Sharon, at least we know he is okay because he was on yesterday. Jonesy is saying my sex is playing in Melbourne in November and in Geelong Friday and Saturday. Not sure what dates, but he's flying over for both gigs. Sean, if you want to go, just say so, mate. Yeah, okay. I need to think about that one. Definitely, I'll have to talk to the boss. See if she'll let me. Daniel is saying he's saving for that cruise down under. Please do so. We'd love to see you. And Sharon is saying absolutely, Gaylors. I agree. 4 minutes to go, Mr. Jimmy. You want to close the thing out?
I'm sure I will. So I want to thank Sean for doing this. I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning and I had changed my password and he couldn't set it up until he got the right password from me. So thank you, Sean, for that. And sorry for any of the trouble. But we're going to close it out like we do every day. Don't forget PMA, Positive Mental Attitude. PMA will definitely save your day. And believe me that I'm living proof that it works. Just believe me when I tell you that. Don't forget to make a difference in somebody's day today. All you have to do is smile at them, say a kind word, shake a hand, hug them if they are so inclined. Remember, like I always say, just don't run up to people and start hugging because you never know how someone will take that. And I will not take the blame for that.
Well, you did tell us to do it.
Well, I did, but make sure you get permission first. That's all. Um, Thank a first responder, the men and ladies of the fire service, the police department, our healthcare workers, our doctors and nurses, like our good friend Bone Tired Traveler, um, Denise, and um, and uh, and those especially our trainers as well, because
Yeah.
without them we wouldn't be able to perform our duties. So thank all of those folks and keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Also, our men and women of the armed forces throughout the world, they are on the proverbial wall every day, protecting our freedoms and liberties and keeping us safe. So thank a veteran. Those folks are awesome, and I appreciate them. And just like the flag behind Sean and the flag behind me and the flag where you're from, whatever country is your country, um, uh, think about and honor that flag, respect that flag. I salute mine every day. I thank the folks that came before me to protect that flag so that we have the liberties and the freedoms that we do, because it means more than the cloth that's printed on. So that's going to do it for me.
And from me, I just want to say thank you to Sharon for her great comment. We aim to please. Jimmy, thank you for popping on board, mate.
Thank you,
I
brother.
hope your day is safe.
And
I
same.
hope that you don't have to deal with some of the things that the people in Maui have had to deal with. So I hope that everything works well for you guys and that Maui, the fires are extinguished fairly quickly.
We'll say a prayer for those folks there too. So
Yeah.
I want to wish everybody peace and love from deep down in my heart. My name's Jimmy. I'm your astute tourist, and he is
Sean from the Down Under Cruisers and Helping Hands for Cruising. Take care, folks, and thanks very much.
We'll see you tonight for Humpday Cocktail Hour, 6 p.m. EST.
Bye now.
Thanks.